Today on the CTV News at 5, registry offices across Alberta are still out of service after a fire at a Shaw building in downtown Calgary. Plus, will the downed registry be a roadblock for street wheelers needing car registration? And a woman says her ex-husband was cooking breakfast for their daughters when an avalanche buried their house in BC. She believes they're trapped.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. You'll have to wait until after the weekend to renew your vehicle registration or pay for your car insurance. Alberta Registries, which handles land titles and motor vehicle services, are still down across Alberta as a result of Wednesday's fire at a Shaw building in Calgary. Local licensing and registry offices are unable to do registrations, issue driver's licenses, or collect fine payments. Now, most other services, they're also unavailable. Staff at Lethbridge License and Registry are busy fielding calls about what people should do in the meantime.
It's not a month-end situation, so if anybody has vehicle registration that's due at the end of the month, they're still going to be able to get it before the expiry date. The only people that it's going to really affect are people that don't have valid registration right now, say expired last month and they forgot. Their driver's licenses have expired within the past couple of days because they've had a birthday, or they bought new vehicles. But, you know, unfortunately, there's not too much else we can do. We're kind of hands tied, suspended.
Some government services are back online, including for the courts and high school transcript processing. Many of the registry offices have closed early because service isn't expected to be fully restored until Monday at the earliest. Now, the disruption of registry services comes at a bad time for Southern Alberta's largest car show. Street Machine Weekend kicks off tonight, and there's a full 3 days worth of activities planned. But car enthusiasts who were waiting until the last minute to reactivate their registration are finding themselves out of luck. Terry Boat reports.
At Exhibition Park, members of the Street Wheelers are getting ready for the biggest weekend of the year. This area in front of the exhibition grandstand will be used to host the 100-foot dash, just one of the popular events that's expected to attract more than 700 cars and trucks, including hot rods, muscle cars, modified vehicles, and classic cars. Pretty well anything you can shine up and show off.
The 34th year for this event. It gets bigger every year.
But there has been one snag. Car owners who were waiting until the last minute to get their classic cars registered and show-ready may be out of luck because of the province-wide disruption of registry services.
We have a lot of people that are calling and wanting to know if they can register their custom vehicles and their antiques for the weekend, and we can't do anything for them. We are basically hands tied. We can't even get into our system.
Organizers say they don't anticipate the registration hiccup will have a major impact on the number of entries. They say bad weather would have been a bigger concern.
The big thing is insurance. So that's if you get caught driving and you don't have insurance, that's a big ticket. There's no issue with insurance and the computer system going down. Registration, well, you take your chances, but I don't think we're going to see a big drop in our numbers because of that this year.
A police spokesman says there won't be any leeway for car owners who choose to drive without a valid registration. The traffic unit will be patrolling to make sure drivers are safe and acting responsibly. But in recent years, that hasn't been a major issue. Despite all the horsepower cruising the streets, police handed out only 62 tickets last year, and only 3 of those were for stunting. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Well, another day and another severe thunderstorm watch, but those seem to be over for Southern Alberta, but they're not for the East Kootenay, Dory.
Yeah, they're still in effect for East Kootenay. That means that, you know, the potential is there for a thunderstorm activity to start developing. And of course, areas to the east of us are still in play. Southern Manitoba, parts of northern Manitoba, and extends into northern Ontario. So the game is moving. The pieces of the game are always moving in this kind of a weather puzzle that we look at this time of the day when temperatures get this hot and humidity levels are rising. So we'll keep an eye on it, and we've got more details coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Dory. Well, some cooler temperatures are in the forecast for this weekend, and that will bring some relief from the heat, not just for residents, but also the city's power system. Yesterday, Lethbridge set a new power consumption record. Around 4 p.m., the city peaked at 162 megawatts, beating out the previous record of 155 from August of 2008. Temperatures Thursday were into the 30s. Bow Island actually set a new record of 34.5 degrees. Residents are being urged to conserve energy wherever possible. For tips, you can log on to the City of Lethbridge website. Now, police continue to investigate a series of break-and-enters that started in Lethbridge, led to a highway chase, and then ended in Taber. It began late last night when someone drove from business to business, breaking in by ramming the front entrance with a vehicle. There was extensive damage at National Car Rental on Mayor McGrath Drive. The entire front glass wall shattered. The front door was also smashed at Ellis Autodrome on 2nd Avenue South. Police say businesses in North Lethbridge were also broken into, and at one of the locations, a Cadillac Escalade was stolen. Around 2:30 this morning, the vehicle was spotted on Highway 3, but the driver failed to stop for police, so police terminated a pursuit at Coaldale, but later recovered the stolen vehicle in Taber, and it's believed that a suspect was taken into custody in Taber with the assistance of the police K9 unit. Now, police may still be looking for a second suspect in connection to the crimes, and officers have spent much of the day gathering evidence and taking statements from business owners. The Lethbridge Regional Police Service says they're aware about a rumor circulating on social media sites about bottle bombs. Police say they haven't received any complaints about bottle bombs, and they have not issued any warnings or advisories. The service says when situation comes up that are of risk to the public, they will take steps to let residents know. A southern Alberta couple whose home was destroyed by a fire last fall say they are living a nightmare. The Pincher Creek residents are protesting to raise awareness about a lengthy fight with their insurance agency that's left them cash-strapped and homeless. But their insurance company says they've spent $80,000 on this claim so far and are waiting on the couple to provide them with important documents. Kayla Carr reports.
We have nothing at this point.
Annie Loke and her partner David Bairns tour what used to be their dream home. The couple haven't been able to live here since last October when Bairns suffered a medical emergency while cooking and a fire destroyed their home.
It's basically gutted right now.
The couple contacted their insurance company the next day. The cooperator sent a restoration company to remove whatever could be salvaged. A few days later, 2 contractors came to survey the damage and found asbestos. The couple says their insurance company paid to have the asbestos removed, but didn't get it all. Now, the homeowners say the company isn't answering any of their phone calls, emails, or letters.
And now they're not even paying our additional living expenses. So we are not only in financial distress, but this house is our investment, and we have nothing at this point.
Bairns and Loke quit their jobs and are protesting across Western Canada on their way to the insurance company's headquarters in Ontario.
We'd like to bring awareness to our situation and situations of other people like us, because we know there's an awful lot like us out there. But we'd like to get resolution to our issues here.
The couple says they want the insurance company to pay to have the rest of the asbestos removed and fully cover the costs of making their home livable again.
They promise, partnership, that you will have peace of mind, that they will be there to help you through a time when you're most vulnerable, and indeed they do not. And like we've said, they've heard us more than words can say.
Kayla Carr, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Now, we contacted the cooperator's insurance company, and a spokesperson says their expert didn't find any evidence of any more asbestos in the home, and they're waiting for the couple to send them their asbestos test and estimate from an independent contractor so they can decide how to proceed. The company says they are providing the couple with living expenses, but the couple recently began returning their checks. A Florida woman is pleading with someone to start digging at the site of yesterday's slide near Nelson, BC. Lynn Migdal says her ex-husband and 2 daughters are buried under the mountain of mud and rock.
I need hundreds of people with shovels as soon as possible if there's any chance that my family's still breathing.
Migdal believes her 17-year-old daughter Rachel, 22-year-old daughter Diana, and ex-husband Val Weber are all buried in the kitchen of their Johnson's Landing home, but the search for them has not begun. Engineers say the slide is too unstable, and today more land gave way, pouring mud, trees and rocks into Kootenay Lake. Vancouver's heavy urban search and rescue team is on their way, but it's unclear when anyone will actually start searching.
Everyone's on the way. It's very frustrating. It's just happening so slow. Yesterday, I understand. It was weather. They were waiting for it to settle. But they said as soon as it was sunlight that they would try to start digging my family out.
And the federal government says it will appeal a BC Supreme Court ruling which struck down a ban on assisted suicide. This comes just weeks after a BC judge ruled that the laws banning doctor-assisted suicide are unconstitutional. The decision opens up the possibility of Parliament amending the current laws. The ruling granted an exception allowing Gloria Taylor, one of the women who brought on the lawsuit, to die with a doctor's help. Well, the Alberta New Democrats are now entering the fight to help save a healthcare facility in Carmangay. Deputy Leader Rachel Notley says no facilities are safe from the government acts. Last night, about 160 people, including Wildrose leader Danielle Smith, showed up for a meeting in Carmangay to show their support for this facility. Alberta Health Services is planning to shut down the Little Bow Continuing Care Centre in the next few months. The facility houses about 18 dementia and Alzheimer's patients who require around-the-clock supervision. AHS says the building does not meet current building codes and would cost too much to bring it up to standards. But residents say it passed all inspections in March. Smith says the decision to close the facility shows the government is ignoring local healthcare needs. The MLA for Little Bow says he feels like the community is being unfairly targeted.
I'll guarantee they didn't even know this was a full-time lock-up dementia unit. I'll bet my farm on that. I'll bet whoever the applehead was that came up with this idea sits in Edmonton, has no idea where it was other than he had a little pie chart of, oh, Carmangay's here, Claire's home's over here, Lethbridge is here, and oh, people could probably make it to Nanton too. But yet, probably never even toured the facility themselves. Probably don't even know where Carmangay is, other than they look, it's just a 20-bed facility.
Now, Carmangay's mayor says although Alberta Health Services has already made up their mind, she is encouraging people to start lobbying the government and writing letters. Well, dozens of members of the Japanese community are preparing for this weekend's dance festival. The Nikkei Cultural Society Minyo dancers have spent the last few months working on the Bon Ordi dance. The folk dance is performed outside in a circle around a taiko drum. The group will perform at the Japanese Dance Festival in Lethbridge on Saturday. Bon Ordi is a dance of joy and an opportunity for participants to self-reflect. Performers also see it as a chance to connect with loved ones.
This is actually a memorial gathering to think of those who have gone before us. And we meet again, we reconnect with those who have gone before us. So with joy, we dance.
The 9th annual Bon Ordi Festival will be held tomorrow night, 6 o'clock in Galt Gardens. And besides dancing, there will also be crafts, activities for children, and traditional food. On the markets today, the U.S. stocks closed up sharply higher, pulling the Dow as well as the S&P 500 positive for the end of the week.